I was actually gonna just start playing a game, but I have to say, big respect to Big Mo and big respect to Fresh and Fit. Like it's motivating. Like it's self help. It's what you need, bro. Cause this is a story that I love to hear. But like this right here, it is. Let us continue. Basically, we get into Big Mo of Fresh and Fit. One of the other backbone. I said like the left booty cheek of Fresh and Fit. Also a fellow, Zoe. Shout out all the Zoes, Haitians. Um, this is well, to me, this is his origin story as far as like where he's at right now, cause he's in Miami area. I live down here in South Florida too, actually close to Miami, like 20 minutes, 30-minute drive. But I, the humble beginnings, I didn't watch the thing all the way through, but it was so inspiring that I had to make a video on it. I'm sorry, but here we go. Cause there's a lot of thing that goes into like believing in yourself, supporting yourself, editing, believing in your own skills, knowing that hey, you may not get it now, but you're eventually gonna get it later. Bro, there's so much of that in there, and it's just like keep on pushing, bro. Don't ever stop whatever you're doing. You try to better yourself, do what you gotta. Don't stop it. Is every day of your life is a learning process. So that's all I gotta say. The cold approach.
Mario, you look like that tall nigga from Imaginary Friends cartoon, bro.
He look like
Who's
Will.
that? The nigga with the one eye with one arm, bro. Bro, you been watching too much TV. You watch too much TV, nigga. You know all these pop culture references. You know it's every character in every Disney movie.
I'm up in Fresh and Fit. I didn't think they wanted me here, and I didn't
Mo,
think anybody knows me here. So I get crazy.
Mo the Zoe.
Oh my, yo, it's Captain Sable, bro. Nah, mommy's in the club. We don't need a babysitter. We need a babysitter.
Redfield Lion Podcast. We're joined by Big Mo from Fresh and Fit. What's happening, baby?
What's going on,
First
man?
time in Connecticut.
Yep.
Never been to New York, so I'm going to take you to see New York.
Yep.
You've had the same experience most people have had coming to visit us, which is kind of like, where the fuck am I?
I'm sorry, I gotta go edit something on my Twitch real quick. I keep forgetting to take off Apex Legend and put it on the Just Chat, so I'm gonna video produce it real quick. Don't worry about what I got going on. I gotta publish it too. Just don't pause. I gotta edit the video on channel. There it goes. This ended just chatting because we're not. All right, bet.
All anybody knows when they come to town.
Shout
is
out Black
Connecticut with us.
Kokage too, the
There's no
Black
clue to that,
Kokage.
and that's pretty much been your experience.
Yeah.
But so you are the friendliest dude.
Oh,
that
it is
works
sped up.
on The most
I'm so used to the video sped up that don't know that's not on normal.
controversial podcast out right now.
Yeah.
Do most people find that that's kind of like an odd thing? Even like your friends were calling you when we were in the car, and they were like,
Yeah.
"Oh, he's up in Connecticut. He must be doing more misogynist shit." Like, do you ever think that people like don't expect you to be as friendly as you are, or
I get that a lot, unless it's like people who like know me personally. They're like, yeah, that's Mo. You know, sometimes a lot of the girls be like, I don't, you don't belong in this kind of with these guys. What are you doing?
They
with
they
these
say
guys?
that,
I'm
bro.
like, hey,
Come on,
you know, I
man.
really look up to these guys. These
Yeah,
are
they
my
give you
friends,
oppor-
man.
yeah.
I love people in the space. You know, it's just I just
It's all about
love things.
uplifting people, bro.
And I just love like smiling a lot. I just
entertaining
love
as
being
fuck?
happy.
Big facts.
That's awesome. You were saying that you don't tell most girls that you fuck with that you do Fresh and Fit.
I do not.
You
I
can't.
absolutely do not.
That's
I
what
don't-
must be good about being behind the scenes a little bit, right?
You
Yeah,
can't.
That's one of my favorite parts because you know if there's anything that goes on that happens, like I
Same
really,
here. Most jobs I ever had is me behind the scene. Like I was like inventory or the person who works all the way in the back of the store type shit. Like I don't like being in like the forefront. I would be that nigga like helping things in the back of the scene, and that's it. I don't have to have my face shown or anything. But hey, man,
you come out of it all unscathed.
Big Mo,
Like,
respect Big
my
Mo.
name doesn't get mentioned or anything.
In other words, literally, like Rolo says, like I just work here. Like,
Yeah.
I literally just work here.
I just work here. Yeah, exactly like that. But you know, girls I talk to, I just tell them, hey, I work at I work at a radio station.
Yeah, they say you do
Yeah,
radiology.
What kind of radio station? It's nothing special.
Yeah.
It's just it's just in downtown Miami. It's a local radio. Nothing.
What's funny
Not-
is
nothing-
when we went to Miami
not
the first time I
spectacular.
met Fresh, it was right in front of Moxie's, which is close to Panorama Towers, right?
Yes.
And I think everybody goes there. It's like the hot spot where all the celebrities go and stuff and go out to eat. But we were outside of there with Rolo, and then Fresh pulled up, and there was a girl walking by, and she was like, "Oh, that's the dude that hates women. You hate women." And like, I asked Fresh, I'm like, "Does that happen a lot?" And he was like, "Yeah." But his response when it says, he's like, "That's not me. That's Myron." He put it all on Myron. He said that. Yeah,
No lie.
I'd probably do the same shit.
No lie, we'll put it all on Myron too. I ain't gonna lie. If I was Fresh, that's Myron. That ain't me. I ain't say I hate women. Myron never say he hate women. But people like to think he does. I'm like, bruh, if he hate women, he would not be. It's just dumb.
That's all cap.
Yeah. Well, no, it kind of seems like Myron and Chris are dead serious individuals, and then there's you and Fresh.
Chris ain't serious.
And it does.
Chris be drinking Henny. Chris ain't serious. Chris just got lick in his body. That's all it is. It's just the Henny in his body. The XO getting to him, bro. The XO make him act up sometimes. Chris be brewing, bro. And the thing is, the process of the show goes so smoothly, and this nigga could be lit, and we would not even know. That's how good both of them are, actually. Big Mo and Chris, like, that's good quality. Is one person bring the message, one person bring the person. They're like a machine, bro. They're like, they can't stop, won't stop type shit. I'm not dick riding or anything, but I'm like, this is the type of shit you want from your bros. And I'm gonna tell you, all of them are probably self-made. And they are, like, they do their things, bro. It's self-made. You gotta become something. It actually
seem like that. Like the dynamic of Fresh and Fit between the two guys. It's almost kind of like Chuck and Flav kind of balance. It's like the one dude is there like serious business, and the other dude is there just having the time of his life. It almost kind of seems like when the shit pops off on the show, that's the mode that you and Fresh are in. Like just cheesing, just like, hey, fuck it, happens every day. Yeah. And Myron and Chris are more in like the heat of the action, the heat of the debate.
It's actually more like a double good cop, bad cop.
I can see that.
Like
that's a good way to put it, actually.
At the forefront, like, you know, on the face, you know, what everyone sees, what the public sees, you know, Fresh is the good cop, Myron's a bad cop. And then behind the scenes, I'm like the good cop, Chris is the bad cop. You know, Chris is very stern, he's disciplined, you know, he's all about structure and routine. Hey, ladies, pay attention. Like, hey, pay attention. Hey, pay attention, all right? And I'm just like, all right, ladies, just make sure you speak into the mic, all right? You know,
it's good balance too.
Yeah,
it's good balance. Well, I got to tell you, I don't know, and I actually want to ask you too. I don't know how much of this you've dealt with. I don't think you've dealt with any of it. You may have dealt with some and literally not given a fuck, because I know how you are with your girls. I might have gotten it the most since we started Red Pill Lions. I've definitely, like when you said you don't tell girls that you're dealing with that you work for Fresh and Fit, you'd be surprised the amount of dates I lose once girls fuck around and see my Instagram and they see that I was on Fresh and Fit or that I work with Rolo. Some girls instantaneously are just like, dub. Like that's a red flag. Have you guys gotten any of that kind of shit?
It be like that sometimes, bro.
Sit through like our podcast and shit. I'm like, this is what we're watching.
It be like that though. You gotta know who you be around.
But I had a girl text me, and it was a screenshot of me following Tate on Instagram, and she's like, "What the fuck is this?" And I'm like,
"Well, now he's deleted, so they can't look at it. I mean, can you still see if you're followed by him, or is it just completely wiped, right?"
Well, Tate more than anything, when Tate took over, it became this different thing because he was like
everyone knew about it.
Well, he was. Have you noticed that we kind of swap villains for
villains
for the social justice mob?
Yeah.
So for a little while, it was like Kevin Samuels is like public enemy number one, and then it was Myron Gaines even before Kevin Samuels died. Like Myron was like the number one public enemy number one.
He was.
Then Tate overshadowed all of them, and for a little while, I think like
Andrew
and
Tate
else in the community got a breather as they're no longer the number one public enemy, and so Tate, everything was geared towards Tate.
Tate.
And,
in mainly Tate, and then some form and shape Sneeko too.
And arrogant than Myron.
But Sneeko's getting it from everybody sometimes.
It was arrogant. It was just like, let me just get right down to the facts.
Yeah. It was never arrogant. Him and Kevin Samuel too. People was happy when he died. That's just crazy.
There to, get you.
Yeah. Tate going mainstream kind of fucked me over. Anybody who doesn't know, I do the street interviews for the podcast and Red Pill Lions and also Savo Vlogs. So check that out. But since that Tate went mainstream, it's so harder for me to interview these women because sometimes we go up to interview these women and you won't even say anything about Tate. You just ask any questions related to intersexual dynamics.
Yeah.
Do you support Tate?
Yeah.
This interview's done. And it's just like, it makes it so hard.
Yeah.
You don't want to talk about it because how you feel, bro. It makes no sense.
Because we'll go up and say, hey, we're just doing a talk show about relationships. But they're like, okay, talk show about relationships, 3 dudes. This is Tate type shit.
Dude, and Richie
this
B
is Red
had the worst one. It was a whole pack of girls.
Yeah, you guys got to go check it out.
Check out Richie's part because Richie killed it. He handled it very well and it was hilarious.
Yeah, it was really funny. So, how did you take all that in? Because you were a fan before you worked for Fresh and Fit.
I was a long time fan.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry, Myron. Supporter. Myron doesn't like to use the term fans.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna lie, I stay a fan.
But for example, you said like your first day was like Tate was there, Rolo was there. Tate before he was huge.
It was my very first day was Rolo.
That's a good introduction.
Tate
that
got
was
big,
really
bro.
Before we
And I
finish,
think
take
Fresh
us
and
back
Fit
a little
helped
bit.
him a
How
little
did
too,
you get
being on
involved
Fresh and
in
Fit.
Fresh and Fit? And like, how did that all transpire?
Well, you know, I didn't even think I was gonna even get. I didn't even think I was gonna have an opportunity. Like, I was just, you know, supporting. I just been a fan. You
How
know,
long you been around?
Exactly.
since December 2nd.
Oh, okay.
So, December 2nd, 2021.
That's
For
good.
those who are gonna be watching the replays, of course. Like,
Yeah.
So yeah, Rolo was my. Oh yeah, how did I get there? I was just laying down. I think I had not really much to say.
That boy said
but
laying
and
down.
I was just like at home laying down, and then I just see Myron post a story.
This is the origin story where we know Big Mo for what he had. Because honestly, I didn't know who Big Mo was until he started being on Fresh and Fit. And I'm like, who's that guy? And it's like, Mo with the Haitians. Yeah, I'm like, yep, that's my nigga. And then ever since then, he's a cool guy. Follow him on Instagram, everything. Fly back. He's a solid dude, right? Very humble. He's a very blessed guy. That's all I gotta say.
On
Like,
Instagram.
a Haitian to another Haitian, I can see it, bro. And
What? And then I noticed he actually posted it 2 minutes in, and my eyes is wide open like, what? I mean,
2 minutes in while he was live.
no, when he
I gotta go
posted
use
it,
the bathroom, but I'm still let this
Yeah,
play. This shit's
2 minutes
good,
ago,
bro.
2
I love
minutes
this,
ago,
bro.
I'm like, what?
It's inspired me to keep doing what I needed to keep doing. Cause honestly, I'm trying to get to that point too,
I'm like, hey, I'm an
where
engineer in the Miami area.
I can be. Cause right now I'm doing things by myself, but I do have certain people who want to be aboard on that support thing.
And you know, I currently live in
Well, I'll be
Miami,
back.
which is for those who are not from South Florida, it's about 45-minute drive.
Yeah, I didn't even know there was a Hollywood.
Yeah.
Florida.
Yeah.
What was the neighborhood that we stayed in? Because we stayed in like 45 minutes outside of Miami when we were down there.
We won't be able to remember.
Forget what the hell it was
So
called.
40,
Like Cedarwood or some
if it's
shit.
45 minutes, you're probably thinking like Broward County.
It was like a little bit. It was like a little bit south west of
south?
Miami.
Well, when I met up with
Hey,
that girl, it was
Broward
in kind of
County.
a-
Even though I was born in Dade.
When I met up
somewhere
with
to
that girl,
see.
that was kind of like a hood spot, but it was even like the coolest hood I was ever in because it's like
The
Bridgeport
coolest
with
hood.
palm trees, so it feels like very tropically hood. And yeah, it's dangerous, but it's still sexy, and it was
Tropically,
awesome.
If,
Yeah.
if it's in the south, you're thinking somewhere like Homestead.
Yeah, it was somewhere around Homestead.
Yeah, Homestead, Kendall. That's like those are like the south.
Okay.
They're
Yeah,
like
sorry,
the
what were you
southern
gonna ask?
parts.
So he posted that he needed an engineer. You chatted it.
Yeah,
Um,
because I know they had a previous audio engineer, and he had left because he had another full-time job that he wanted to, and so
Pursue. Yeah.
yeah.
So after that happens, you chat the story. You hit him up. What was like the first day looking like, or did you have to do like some kind of like
Interview.
Interview, basically, yeah. What was the first day looking like?
To my surprise, he actually answered right away. I guess because he was still looking at his phone to see who was going to answer, and I was the first to answer to that story, and I was the first to pop up. I'm an audio engineer. I made sure to put it so because I know he gets tons.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So I
So
could
did he
work in
just
my-
throw you right in? You got right to work, or
Yeah, it was kind of sort of because he was like, okay, I'm gonna call you around 6 a.m. So just be ready for a FaceTime, and so he asked me a few questions. He was like, have you ever done lives before? I said, no, I haven't. Have you ever worked with this specific mixer before? I said, no, I haven't. However, I specialize in like recording studios, and I have a really good ear. I can if I can see your mixer, and if I can touch it, and I can just have a couple minutes with it, I'll be able to understand your equipment. And he was like, all right, so I'm gonna try you out. So you're gonna come in. We're gonna have the show that's gonna start at 7, and we're gonna have Rolo on. And I was like, what?
You were already like 2 books in,
I
right?
was-
Coincidentally.
Yeah, I was like the Rolo.
so he
what?
didn't do like some kind of test run before that. The first time you got on, you just right into a live show.
Yeah, I made sure I came like a little extra early. He showed me around in his setup. I came in like about an hour early.
Uh-huh.
And
That
he
must've
showed me
been
a
crazy.
setup, and what I did, I just took a look at his equipment, touched around, and I was like, okay, I know this should be here, that should be there. And as the show was going, I was still like testing out a few things while not messing with the show.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, if I turn this part up, or hit this one, because Rolo's normally loud as hell.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So if I turn Rolo a little down,
It won't peak,
it won't peak too much. So it's because I know Rolo specifically now is like, now I make sure I tell him like, no, Rolo, I'm not going.
That's funny from an audio engineer perspective. Like rattle off some of the like loudest to quietest
Yeah.
guests because that's what you're always monitoring.
I
right?
think Rolo and
I do the same thing in
Yeah.
Discord also. Now we have like
Probably, no?
loud ass
Tate is-
people.
Tate is a
People
little
some
further,
speak
so
louder
it
than
balance-
others.
Yeah.
It balanced out, so it's like, so the mic will still catch Tate, but it's not gonna peak too much because he's not too close.
How is it on set when they do like those big super streams, like when you were there and they had like 12 guests or however many were there, and you have people on the couch and you have like
That
MLB
do be
was, like,
something.
very loud. Like, how do you handle like when there's that many people?
Yeah, more than any show, they stuff so many guests in than
There
like
be
most
so
radio
many
shows
people.
or most podcasts even do. You got like fucking 12 mics going at once. You got all these bitches freaking out at once. How do you fuck with the levels when that's going on, right?
I normally make sure I test it out prior and then
Oh, yeah.
sound checks
Makes
before we
sense.
start.
Sound check,
I
each
really
mic.
earn my money before the show. Like before the show starts, before we go live.
Yeah.
That's where I really gotta work.
Make sure the audio is good before.
But I'm like always getting right back to work, or
Yeah, sound check.
or Chris is like, Mo, focus.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, got you. And I'm like running around, making sure everything's set up, making sure everything's pre-leveled, everyone's mics are up. Oh shoot, we gotta get those extra mics going.
Now, are you the main guy, or is there someone else too that you guys go back and forth, or every time they go?
Chris
live,
is
you do
the
that?
main guy.
Chris is the main guy.
Chris, okay.
Yeah, he's. I always consider Chris to be like
Chris is
true backbone.
usually always there, and then even Myron says it.
Like, you know, it's weird. Like I always say, Fresh and Fit is like top quality all around. It is really thanks to Chris.
Yeah, I got to talk to him a little bit at the CME. I got to shoot the shit.
Yeah,
with
their
him.
audio
I'll
is
be like,
good,
Chris,
bro. I need to get on that
I
because
got
my
to hang with
audio
Fresh
is
more
not
than anybody.
that
Probably
great.
you
It's
and Fresh
decent.
got to hang with
I
more than
need
anybody.
great
Yeah,
audio.
Fresh was cool. It was good. So, you know, we do this to motivate men to put their best foot forward, to go after shit. So, the importance in your story is actually tell guys about training yourself in a field, in a craft. Because I kind of like to say, like, even though all of us at this table, we're not plumbers and contractors and, you know, we don't do shit like that.
Yeah.
But that's what you'd consider a trade. But we all trained ourselves in editing, sound engineering, all these things. So that becomes our trade. So you trained yourself in something, and just tell the guys a little bit about putting your best foot forward, going after shit,
Big
and then
facts.
the process of actually like going to a potential employer. Because I think a lot of guys think, honestly, if I was in your position, I might have been the guy that like lies and says, if somebody says like, hey, do you know this program? And I'm thinking in my head like, fuck, I do not know this program, but I'm gonna say I know it.
Oh, people be lying.
Because a lot of people figure I get.
But
my
you
foot in
could
the door
do
and I go in
training.
that, like I'll figure this shit out. But you actually told him like the transparency is actually what got you in the door with Myron, because you were like, look, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know this shit, but let me get in there and fuck with it because I've been doing this my whole life. I know how to do it. So like, talk a little bit about that.
You know, it's also more of a success story to me. That's what I consider where I am now, a success story, because
I said origin. I mean success story. Yeah.
That's a completely self-trained.
yes,
You and your cousin, right?
Yes.
You and your cousin,
Yes.
you kind of were in training at the same time. You guys
Yes.
taught each other things, kind of like how we taught each other sound.
Yeah.
Right? He's the only one that's actually like, oh no, you both sound engineer basically for your own
Yeah,
records,
I do
and he
engineer.
engineers for other people.
Yeah.
I don't engineer anything,
and
but
because there was an audio engineering school that I've been trying to go to for a long time, even since like I'm talking about since I've been like looking at it since my junior year in high school.
But now doing what you do you think you even need it as far as today?
I probably would still, but now I can't worry about it too much because
You're tapped in with the podcast.
I'm still gonna always need it because I'm still gonna like, you know, I still want to keep learning more. I'm always still learning. I never stop thinking about like, hey, I should stop learning. No, or I'm good off of that. It's just I just took the lemons and made lemonade slushy with it.
Lemonade
Well,
slushy.
it's a
I
story
guess
because
you
it
put the
was-
ice
it was
on
one of
it.
your favorite shows, as it is.
Also, the main reason why it was a success story, but it's because the main reason why I didn't get into those audio engineering schools is because I got financially turned down, and I got turned down about 4 different times, and which is, you know, I hope I'm not jumping the gun on the show here a little bit, but you know, because a lot of people understand that, you know, I move very careful, and I'll probably explain somewhere in the later on, but I move very careful. So it's because I love where I am. I love my position.
Yeah,
and
don't
I'll do whatever it takes
compromise.
to secure where I'm at, because I remember those times that I got turned down at those audio engineering schools. And I remembered like the third and fourth time. I remember crying in the building, and I remember crying in my mama's car at 28 years old, back in my mama's car, crying my eyes out. I'm talking about loud, snot and lows, like, because I'm like, I love music. I love audio engineering. I love music engineering. I just, this is what I love. This is my passion. This is
Hey, man.
The school's kind of
He's right, bro. I want to say, well, basically what he feels like he want his passion to work for him. And that's what we all want in life. We all want to do something we want to do for a living than what we have to do for a living. So this is probably like a long time thing. Like, bro, I need to get this somehow, some way. And even then, sometimes certain things that will stop you. But hey, an open opportunity. He took it, and here he at now.
like when
He's on
when you're
YouTube.
talking to a girl
He's doing
for
a
a
good.
time
He's
there,
on a
then you start
probably
finding
no
your
more
lane, start
podcasts on
becoming successful,
YouTube.
and next thing you know, she's in your DMs.
Yeah.
So now it's like the school turned you down. Now you're doing something cool. You're working with friends where you want to be. So now it's like, fuck you.
Yeah.
You're like,
Yeah.
hey, you didn't want me back then.
That's
Now
a
you want
that's
me.
a
Yeah,
notch in
exactly.
his
Okay.
belt,
Yeah.
which is
At what
really
point did
good.
you realize that you could teach yourself without intimidation? Because I was telling you, I went to broadcasting school. There was like, it was a weird thing. They only took like 8 students at a time. Another student actually also does a podcast here, and she went on to work for WWE. I was really the only one that went to do his own
WWE.
thing. I was the only one in my
I love
graduating.
WWE, by the way.
Yeah, WWE is actually like 30 minutes that way. Another one of these.
Yeah,
select-
Connecticut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, why did I keep forgetting about that, bro? I
Yeah,
love
it's
Connecticut.
another one. It's another one.
I love you.
Another one of the only select few things we could say is kind of cool, but I'm not even that big of a WWE fan, so I only think it's so cool. But no,
Yeah.
Kristen graduated with me. She went on to be one of their PAs or something. I was the only one in my graduating class that went on to do his own shit because I'm hard-headed. I only want to do the shit that I want to do. But but everybody else went on the television, Fox, WWE. But anyways, all of us together, we all went on to be successful in our path. I don't think there's one person in my graduating class that like just ended up not doing shit. We all did something cool. But all of us fell asleep in Pro Tools. Literally all of us. So there's like 8 of us. It was the most obnoxious shit. We're in a room about this size. There's an audio engineer specialist trying to teach us the basics of Pro Tools, and literally all of us are slumped over sleeping. And he just kept teaching. He's like, you know,
But
but yeah. So I was telling you the amount of folks I know that taught themselves something. Just like you learn by doing. That's about the only thing. Or there's many things that I dislike.
Pro Tools is a hard program.
Okay, well, yeah, Pro Tools. Okay, never mind. Actually, let me correct my statement. Many people teach themselves Logic.
Yes.
Pro Tools, that's like reading Chinese to me.
It looks like an alien software.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been actually learning about just audio equipments and audio programs, like a Pro Tools, like a Logic. I'm talking since
updates, drivers.
and I'm
Yeah.
32 now. So I've already, so even when I got like turned down from those schools, I was still like, well, I still been teaching myself, so I'm not gonna stop trying to learn, and I'm not gonna try to stop networking to learn or put myself somewhere in the field out in the experience. I'm not gonna stop wanting to go to these studios to still kind of like have my hand in there.
Do you think where you're at today, if you reapplied to those schools, they would take it?
I don't know because I got financially turned down.
Yeah.
I've already like passed like the exams every time.
Really?
It's with flying colors.
Sucks that schools did.
I went through like the main. The financial was just the last process. The advisors they was been saying since I was like 17, 18, 19. It was like, yo, you passed everything with flying colors, bro. We'll be happy to have you. So it was just I just couldn't do anything about circumstances.
Yeah.
Yeah, one thing I could tell the guys listening is we're so told that if you can't sit in a classroom setting and learn something top to bottom the traditional way, that you have ADD, you should medicate yourself.
Bro, I'm telling you, like the best way I ever got taught when somebody showed me and I did it myself versus me being taught from a textbook, and I'm just like this. But that's what I'm saying. Like sometimes a classroom setting isn't like the best way to learn. Some people just don't learn that way. Like.
I just witnessed over and over again with us three, with you, with so many other people, teaching yourself something. Don't undervalue teaching yourself something in the proper setting, under the proper circumstances, because I'm just that kind of cat. When you accept that you're that kind of cat that can't focus in a classroom setting, you don't go and put yourself on Adderall, you just go and do it on your own terms.
Exactly.
And I love teaching myself editing and watching my colleagues.
Find a different way.
When we did our first feature film, we had a DP who already knew Adobe Premiere, and then I worked briefly with Comcast, which they don't want me to say, but I don't give a fuck. And I watched them edit, and I learned by doing it. I got my rhythm and I got my flow, and now I'm very, very good on Adobe Premiere, which is the industry standard. Not as crazy with audio engineering those guys are with Logic and things like that. But the bottom line is, I loved doing it. So don't kick yourself in the ass if just the classroom setting is the one thing that turns you off. Because to this day, I guarantee on my own time, I will master something by teaching myself and editing a project that's fun. Like I want to fucking edit stupid shit. I want to edit movies and save.
I'm gonna tell you now, the way this got, don't even. Oh, hold on. I think I got somebody at the door. Got a big old Amazon package. Oh, all right. Like even for me right now, the whole border camera stuff, the OBS system, the system that I use and stuff like that. Even a restream I just started using like a month ago, which helps me stream on both like Twitch and YouTube. I had to teach myself because I never had the opportunity to maybe even think about going to school for it because I didn't think those are skills that's useful for me. I always been doing warehouse type jobs, so that's where I get most of my bread and money from, just being physically able to do stuff. But I started wanting to lean back into what I used to do before I used to be that type of person, is be creative. So stuff like this is what I'm trying to do right now. And the side, hopefully it becomes something I can do to make revenue off of pretty soon. But either or, I still be doing this, and I'm only getting better at it. I used to make videos when I was like 19, 18, and stuff like that, but I never really I never appreciated it myself. I just kind of like, oh, I did it, and then I look at the views, I'm like, damn, and then I look at somebody else's stuff, I'm like, wow, and it's not translated, so I would like stop. But now I'm just like, at this point, just keep doing what you do, and you never know, you might get discovered, you might start fucking with your content. And you might be known, you might be able to make revenue, might change your life, you might be more respected. And this is the thing, you just gotta keep working at it. A dead ass almost in this stream. A dead almost in this stream by pressing pause.
It's funny, but to this day, if you sit me down in a classroom setting, tell me 5 days a week we're gonna get up early, drink coffee, and learn this shit in a boring way, I'm still not. But I could still probably teach myself that same thing, and that's what you did. That's what your cousin did.
Well, also, I'll even point out, one, because I work for them. So,
Yeah.
I'll talk about each of them individually. Myron, also, he was the main person that set up the studio that you guys see.
Oh, he did that by himself.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh, no
he
shit,
did.
he helped him
He
out.
learned how to do that shit on his
There was
own.
like some people who had like a little hand, but Myron,
The way the studio is set up,
and Myron was
the
one that
sound
really,
thing.
learned, okay, what cameras are good for this, what cameras are good for that, what's compatible with that. He looked it all up himself.
Okay.
And there was no like studio specialist
That came in, yeah.
or there was no like photographer, videographer specialist. No, none of that. He learned it himself, and he was the one that was learning. Okay, how do you do live show? How do you
Like he
You gotta
has
put more pressure on the back end of things. So what do you do?
the way the studio is set up, like TV production quality, and there's not any of that.
This podcast right now, this is pre-recorded,
Just
but
like how them is just like flip flap, but he does that on the live. If people really want to give him money, if he wasn't so like infamous, I would say for what his view were, they'll probably work with him, give him some type of TV network deal where he could probably like have a show of his own. But they're never gonna accept us. Start like if it was like literally equal. We should be able to have something like The View, but we have something like Fresh and Fit. Man, I always be the truth for what they say, but you know we still have them, just like how they have The View or I think Lifetime where they like getting the table and they all talking stuff with Whoopi Goldberg and all that extra stuff. So this is where we are.
it's like you,
They self-made it. They said fuck giving it to us on TV. We just gonna make it.
guys gotta edit live. That's gotta be a little nerve-wracking, especially when you got in at first, right? You know.
every show we've ever done is nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
Well, it's the
Every
same shit.
shit.
Like when you do a musical performance live, you know the deal. The fucking guitar goes out, the bass player, the drummer, and the singer keep going.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
until the guitar thing is fixed, like the song goes on, you
Yeah.
don't stop and say, hold up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. Like the only time we stop is if it's like the building has or the area has a power outage, you can't do anything from there.
Yeah, but
Because
when
there
a
was an
monitor goes
episode
out,
that
you keep
happened.
going.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, the power went out during the episode.
Yeah, in the middle, but the whole building shut down.
Yeah, he stopped, pulled the power.
Well,
Turn off the
there's
circuit
actually
breaker.
another episode.
Really?
But,
That was just a joke. That happened?
That happened.
They get mad. They start
Wait,
plugging shit.
tell us that story. Are you fucking serious?
Yeah. The one show I think not even one, bro. That actually happened twice.
Twice.
Where a girl got mad and said, fuck this, and pulled the power
Don't worry
cord?
about
No.
Oh, okay.
I think they were.
What'd they do?
I think they were playing footsies with the cassette.
Oh,
and
God.
I think someone was playing with the power supply of the microphone amp,
Oh.
the microphone preamp. So in the middle of the show, the sound just gone. Like, and everyone's like, wait, why can't no one hear anything?
Yeah.
And I'm figuring out, I'm like, what? Like, wait, I didn't.
I think I
I'm like,
remember it.
I'm like, I set up everything properly, and I said, Myron, check the power supply of that preamp, and he looked and then he saw the switch was off.
Oh, the girl hit with a
Somebody click it.
One episode, a girl hit with her foot.
Yeah.
The other one, I'm sorry, I'm gonna kind of snitch.
Go ahead, go
I
ahead.
snitch on the guest,
Go ahead.
but Richard Hart.
Oh, Richard Hart hit it?
Yeah.
Well, it's a funny difference, too.
Yeah.
If some thought hits it with her foot, you're probably like, Jesus Christ, these thoughts. Like, it's always fucking something, but it's like Richard Hart's like, all right, well, Richard, you gotta be easy with your foot.
Yeah,
man.
that's exactly what
Yeah.
No, he'll get that.
He didn't know.
But
He
then,
probably pressed
you
it
know,
by
all we
accident.
Just did, we just checked that power, but you just see
Richard
Myron
Hart,
walking
Elon Musk's
back-
older
middle of the line,
brother.
Middle of show's still going because we're live. There's no recording. You can't edit that out.
Yeah.
So if you watch that episode, Richard Hart, you're going to see there's going to be a little kind of break, but you're going to see like Myron in the back with no sound going on, and then all of a sudden the sound's going to be back on.
So when something goes wrong, do they immediately look at you like, Mo?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. What else they gonna look at?
Yeah.
And Chris, too. Probably like, oh, the fuck?
He said, I'm sitting here and I didn't do
You're like,
anything.
Mo, I'm like, I didn't do anything, bro. Like,
Act like Mo's over here like pouring coffee over the system and shit.
and even another episode where and because it's
Move
well,
up a little
Myron said it
bit.
in public, so I can say it here. He said it in the show, so I can say it here. Where Chris actually knocked the power supply of his end. So all you see is just a blackout. But the thing was, I was still my side of the computer was still on the StreamYard, so at least the show was able to continue.
Yeah, roll.
Yeah, it was still able to roll.
Mhm.
It's just straight blackout.
Blackout, yeah.
Yeah.
And then so we found out Chris. I don't know. I was like, Chris, you play footsie with the
Like,
power
good.
supply,
It was
bro?
Chris for once. You get to stick it to him for once, right? Because he's a real intense character.
And well, normally I just put my head down. I'm like, I don't know.
Chris, focus.
Yeah.
Well, hey, listen, let me give you props because I can honestly say the funny thing is when you told me around the time you came in and got the job at Fresh and Fit, I can actually say I could tell the difference because Fresh and Fit used to be something that I couldn't listen to in the car. It was something that like I could just watch, but the audio levels of it weren't different from them when you just have somebody lav mic'd and it's for the on-screen viewing. But when you listen to it in the car, it's like the levels are all over the place. It's not like listening to a podcast where everything's normalized and now I can listen to it in the car. So we're gonna get to our NFT holder questions.
That's good.
Guys, this is our main utility among many others. That we
Sound
use on a
quality
regular
is better
basis.
'cause it's audio engineer.
Airlines.com. You get first dibs at asking questions to our guests. So we got a lot of questions for Big Mo. Here's another utility right here. We came up with our own cologne line.
Cold Approach Cologne.
Cold
It is
Approach
an
Cologne.
amazing
My
fragrance.
little
Limited
sister here.
edition. We got like 40 bottles. These are going out. I think this week these are going out.
Yeah,
So
everybody
I'm
keeps
gonna
asking
hold
us where they can get Cold Approach. This is not for sale. This is for our NFT holders.
Only for holders. You got to hold an NFT to be able to get any of our utilities. We're also doing a Kevin Samuels tribute utility next week where we're buying a holder a free suit from head to toe. It's someone that has not ever had a suit, so we're gonna help them get there first. So but going to the holders question real quick. This one comes from Lock and Load from Big Mo for Big Mo, and it says, what differences do you notice in yourself before and after working with all these high value personalities around Fresh and Fit?
That's a good question.
Yeah, that's a great question. it really, I mean, a lot of people will say that I'm a humble person, but I'm a very confident person. And
Yeah.
being around these guys, it really makes me take a step back and take that harsh, that difficult, that honest
Perception of reality.
look
Yeah.
at myself and in the mirror. Which I think I said the same thing twice, but oh well, you guys get it. But I had to take that harsh look at myself, and I normally, a lot of times I do question, am I enough? You know, am I truly enough?
Just improve.
But
Just
still, what
improve.
keeps me positive, what keeps me always smiling is that at least I'm doing the work.
Yep.
I'm doing the best I can. I'm giving it all I got, and I know that there's a light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
In comparison, where there's many years, I went through a long amount of years where I was doing my best. I was learning. I was studying. I was putting myself out there, and I didn't see no light. And they were like, damn, I have nothing to show for this thing, bro. I have nothing to show for, but
It be like
I
that,
actually
bro.
have something to show for it. I actually see a light at the end of the
It
tunnel.
be like that, bro. You just gotta keep going. Like even I know some people, bro, they don't get the recognition till like they're like 30, 40. Hey, it be like that sometimes. Like you could be doing this and then you won't get the recognition. Look at Sneeko. He been on YouTube probably for like since what 2013, 14. He's young though. He's only like 24 now. It's been about what 9, 10 years now, maybe. Since he's been on YouTube, and you won't think about it because he's a young person. Oh, you blew up fast by luck, but you have to be at it for why. I can say I started doing this when I was like 18, 19 because I had a knack for it, but I didn't keep it going because I didn't get that type of support. But at this point, bro, it gotta be you, no matter what people around you do, what you like and your passion, and hopefully it works for you because it's crazy.
Being around these high value guys, could literally feel the invisibility in myself. I'm like, God damn, like this is what it means to be. This is where I stand next to the cream of the crop. The guys who have it all. A lot of these guys are guys who have it all, and or at least has the most of what the vast majority of these girls look for. And I'm like, damn, I'm not even close. And these girls, they let it be known. They're like, no, you are not close.
Oh, damn.
Is it motivating?
It is motivating.
How can it not be?
Because some people like to dwell, though. Some people want to sit there and be like, I'm not good enough compared to this.
Yeah,
person.
don't be like that.
See,
Don't
like,
compare
this
yourself
feeling,
to
like,
other
this
people.
motivation.
Because that feeling I felt too, it can crush a lot of spirits.
Mhm.
I'm like, this is a spirit crushing feeling. Although this is where the prophet comes back, where I was like, well, but I'm Big Mo. But I'm Big Mo. I've been through worse anyway.
Yeah.
And you know, and plus it's not like I haven't been around. So it's like you know, there's also sometimes some girls, you know, where of course a lot of we know the term.
Big Mo gets pussy. Okay.
Pre-selection.
Right.
And some of the girls could smell it on me, where some of the girls be like, you? And I'm like, yeah.
I felt that a little bit like financially. I was doing a StreamYard podcast with Rolo, Richard Hart, Miguel, and I forget who the other guest was. But I'm like, Charlie? Damn, I don't think it was Charlie. It was one of Miguel's friends. And I was like, damn, I am the brokest dude on this fucking stream, bro.
Crazy. You
It was
imagine
insane,
that?
dude.
It's crazy. We got brought into the space because Rolo and Donovan Sharp realized our ambition. And so we're high performance. We're not high value, but we're high performance as fuck. And I think they were just impressed by the comparison of how bad of a rep our generation gets. So they're so used to on a daily basis going on their show and talking about how down bad our generation is that's such a focal point that like when they saw us, I think they were just like, oh, okay, all right, like here's young guys that work. But it is funny though because we don't have the like we talk about high value like the finance yet. Like we're not rich, but we now work with rich people, and it is very strange. It's strange because he's on a podcast with a fucking billionaire live from the flop. You know what I mean? And it's weird. And then the same thing with me. Donovan brought me on the CME.
That's on every
I said,
scope.
no, I said, this is a year back. I said, you can't put me on a show where I am A, the only one that's not famous, and B, the only one that doesn't have like fucking millions of dollars. And even the guys that aren't millionaires in the sphere,
I mean, I wouldn't care
you know,
about that.
Several $100,000 earners per year. And he was like, you have to do this, trust me. And when it clicked for me, and I felt confident enough to do it, was when I realized, oh shit, there's a quote that we always hear. If you hang around with 5 idiots, you'll be the 6th idiot. If you hang around with 5 successful people, you're likely to be the 6th successful guy.
Yep.
And then it clicked for me. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm in good company. So same shit, I cracked jokes on myself, like when I came up to Fresh and Fit. I said, I don't want to get the couch because I'm not an important enough guest. And sure enough, I am on the couch. Though oddly, Miguel's a lot more valuable than me, and he's on the couch with me, but that's a story for another time. But same shit, like I'm up there, a panel of 9 famous cats, and then me. And ordinarily, I'm actually humble enough to be like, I don't belong here. Like, I'm just here because I'm everybody's friend. But then, like, I realize, I'm like, this is where the fuck you want to be if you're successful. If you want to be successful, you're in good company.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
who else are you supposed to
nobody,
learn from?
you
Who
may
else
be
are you supposed to learn
uncomfortable,
from?
but
What
that's
lifestyle
all.
are you
That's
supposed to see
fine.
with that? And I was like, fuck it. You know, I'm just gonna go up there and do my thing.
It's the same thing I said about myself. You know, where there's times and a lot of
I wouldn't even be
Christian
worried
supporters don't
about
like
that.
to talk like this. But I say like if I, to really, I move very carefully because to be honest, I don't belong. Like I don't belong in the specific city that they live in, Brickell. Like the space, I'm like I am not on these guys' levels.
But you do belong for
No.
a different kind of value, skill set.
It's just, you know, because what really happened was, you know, if their previous audio engineer never left, I wouldn't have been in it. I wouldn't have been in this position.
That's how opportunity works.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how.
I just
That's
was
opportunity.
Like, yo, like you just have to be ready. and it was really accumulation of the many years of work that I put in.
Mhm.
So be ready for that moment, for that call.
Yep.
'Cause
That's
I was- 'cause I was
that's
saying
you,
back
bro.
in
I don't know. Yeah.
2005. I'll say back in 2005. I said somebody's gonna give me that call.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
when. Somebody's gonna give me that call. So just keep learning audio engineering, or keep growing in music, or keep
working.
You know, keep investing.
Keep working, bro.
Learning more, and keep putting yourself out there. Keep networking. Someone's gonna call me. And I'm saying that 2005 and then
Do
I'm
what
saying
you like to do for a
2007
passion and keep working at
2009
it.
and 2011. I'm
You
like,
never
someone's
know
gonna
when
give me
you're gonna
that
get picked
call.
up.
And I'm like, so, okay, 2013, somebody's gonna give me that call. 2016, someone's gonna give me that call. 2018, someone's gonna give me that call.
Love that.
And people are like, yo, people are starting to be like, I think this man is crazy.
Yeah, I don't know if
I'm starting to
Nah,
see
you
conspiracy
good.
theories. And then finally 2021, I'm like, summer 2021, someone's gonna give me that call.
Yeah.
And no one's giving me that call. And then next thing you know,
December,
2021, and so
You
and then
knocked it
Myron
out the
gives me that
park.
call, and I'm like,
Like, yep.
God damn.
Yeah, let me just say one thing.
Right here, bro.
Before we get to the next question, then we'll get to the next question. You said something else I wanted to comment on. When you can't see a way out of where you're at, you said when you were down bad. And this is real shit. This is real shit. When you're down bad, you'll never be able to see a way out. I learned that. I think I learned that last year. I had like a mini nervous breakdown last year. I was so fucked up last year. Too much excitement, too much, too soon. I made a feature-length film, sold out a movie theater. Too many great things happened at once. And when things got quiet right after that, it was just too much excitement at once, too much of a roller coaster. And I was like, damn, maybe nothing good is ever going to happen again. And for a little while, I was like,
Damn.
I cannot see a way we're going to produce again. Because like we already went so big for broke people. Like we did that with nothing. How the fuck is another opportunity going to come? And that was the first time I really, really learned when you're down bad, you will never see a way out. And most of us need that. We need to be able to be like, I think I can see a little light at the end of the tunnel if I could just move forward. Sometimes you really have to move in the dark. That's blind faith.
It's just the feeling of it.
Absolutely
You gotta
moving
get the
dark.
feel of
There's
stuff.
nothing in you that suggests anything good is going to happen. But you just keep going. Keep going numb. Keep going depressed. Keep going tired. Keep going unmotivated. But like just keep going because that's the only way you get to that point. Where
Yep.
that call is waiting. You can't anticipate it. You would never be able to anticipate it. But like all those years you were saying like it's coming, it's coming, it's coming, or the years that you were down and out, like little did you know, like that December 2021 was waiting. You know what I mean?
Coming, yeah.
But if you stopped doing everything because you're like fuck all this shit, then
Yep.
there would have never been a December
And-
1st or
yep.
December 2021 call from Myron Gaines.
And you were just laying down when it happened.
And I've had down bad moments like between 2005 and like 2011 or 2014, 2016, or like 2018, crying in the backseat of my mom's car, or
Yeah.
or crying in front of the school advisor. Like, and he was like, you better not cry. And I just couldn't. I'm like,
It's happening.
I can't. I'm like, it's happening, bro. I'm sorry, bro. It is what it is.
Yeah,
Sorry. I really wanted to be here, and I can't. So
And you know something? That's where your kind of arrogant confidence comes from sometimes. Like, I'm sure to the people that I work with or work for me, or sometimes I got to give you orders. I probably must seem like the most arrogant cat in the world, but it just comes from, like, I've been down and been fucked up and had fucked up times long enough and still came out the other side to see. You can't take me down unless I believe I can be taken down.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what's going to stop me? We've been had the family drama, the trouble, the issues with our friends, the fights. We were broke. This one's on drugs. This, that. Like, we've done it all. And we're still here. So what do you think's really going to fucking end? Was it going to be
Yep.
an avalanche? Like,
No, but that passion that like you have passion for the music and all the audio engineering, it keeps you going. The passion with the films and all that shit, it keeps you going to the point where like if you were to one day be like, I just can't, I'm just done with this. Like you would have missed that chance. Yep, you would have missed that chance. So like,
Damn, yeah,
it's not
man,
one
can't
thing to
quit
wait,
your
but just
passion,
be
bro.
optimistic and know that like the work you're putting in will pay off. So all that shit while you're saying, I know that chance is coming. I know I'm gonna get that call. You're working through it. So by the time you got that call, you were ready. Yep, that's one of the best parts. And like the fact that social media is so accessible to everyone nowadays, and that you were able to take this opportunity off of a fucking Instagram story.
Yeah.
means
Yep.
There's a lot of different ways you can get these phone calls. There's a lot of different ways you can get these opportunities. So you got to stay open-minded and ready. And that one quote is like, if you're not where you want to, not being where you want to be should be motivation enough. Is a lot of it's good fuel for your gas tank. Because a lot of people will be like, I'm not where I want to be, man, and just wallow in it. You can't wallow in it.
Yeah, you can't wallow in that shit, bro. The future
that's
will
why I'm
come.
always angry. Because on my worst days, I'm still moving.
No, that and probably the steroids.
Allegedly. Allegedly.
He openly talks about it.
No, but that's like, I'm only on testosterone. They're gonna fucking crucify me in the comments. They're gonna be like, it's GH. But,
allegedly.
No, but,
Allegedly.
no, that's really why I always have
GTA.
like a fucking angry, agitated Bill Burr vibe. Is because like on the days that like I don't feel like it, I'm down and out, I'm uninspired, like I'm still moving. But like so that's why it's like on those days like everybody stay the fuck out of my way because like I'm fucking shot, I'm exhausted, but like I'm not gonna stop, so I'm pissed. Let me just be pissed and get this on.
Yeah,
with.
some
Like,
days you gotta look at yourself in the mirror and be like, stop being a bitch. You're tired. Get up and do it.
Let's
And that
segue to
helps
the
too.
next older question.
And even just
No,
last
on
point,
to the
Myron
next day.
never gave me that second call, but I was already more than satisfied that I was able to tell myself I could hang with the top tier.
Yep.
Absolutely. All right, so we got two questions, one from Marizi and then one from Scott C. I'm gonna do Marizi's first. Marizi's is, Big Mo, can you detail some of the lifestyle changes you've made since joining the Fresh and Fit team in terms of self-improvement?
Definitely the fitness aspect was the biggest lifestyle change.
Yeah, my boy, you can't hang out with them. You're not working out. Myron gonna beat your ass,
I
bro.
knew how to like make the most of every dollar. Which Myron is kind of like that also. He really is about making the most of every little dollar he has. But
Yeah.
you know, the fitness aspect is definitely one of the biggest. Myron was definitely my direct mentor in that. He's the one that taught me. So he gets all the credit. Before I was on the show, I always had the motivation, but Myron said, since you're gonna be here, I might as well like walk you through what you need to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and give me that kick
Yep.
in the ass, and then I was already like I already wanted it, so it was easy for him to like. He didn't have to make me want it. Because I mean, it was inspired by him anyway. so it was like you inspired.
Yeah, it's the
Now I
same
work with
thing.
him, so, he was the one that walked me through it. So a lot of my eating habits completely changed. I
Yeah.
dropped I dropped a lot of bull stuff.
Good shit.
You know,
Yeah, you were saying like over like the past year you dropped like some 65
yeah, about
pounds.
well now currently about 60, it's like 69. Nice, 69 pounds and
number.
10
Shit.
pant sizes.
Good shit, dude.
Yeah,
10 pant
and,
sizes.
so,
That's good.
Which is probably gonna be 12 very soon because I've been having to lift my pants up a lot again.
There you
So,
go.
so I've been feeling so much better. It's still just the beginning, but you know I've been.
Because some
loving
people
what I
think like the gym is just for like get your body right so you look good and stuff, but a lot of people don't realize that not only does the gym help your body and your muscles and stuff,
It help
but
your
it
mind.
bro, too. Keeps your
Absolutely.
mind in the right place. Keeps you from being depressed.
do. Yeah, it's like I'm
Yeah.
always just so extra. Even when
If
I'm
your
just,
body is
feel,
moving, then your
so
mind is
uncomfortable,
working.
You know, because when I'm in the gym, I'm just. I hope I just I hope I'm not like answering a future question, but I just make sure I stay as focused as possible. Get in, get out. You know, get my workouts in, but the grind doesn't stop.
Nope.
When I leave the gym, the grind continues. 'Cause it's
Continue.
Like,
A battle of
every
what
day
you
I have,
eat.
I still have
What's your
trainings every
diet?
day of
Oh,
ice
yeah.
cream.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
pizza.
Ice cream.
or shout out to the Fresh Fit Discord gang. They always talk about like eating like 7 full racks of barbecue ribs and 5 extra large meat lovers pizza with extra sauce and extra cheese. Having dreams of eating them all in like
Making me hungry.
one sitting. And then I gotta tell myself, no, you cannot. Or this isn't your day to do it. You know, well maybe not the 5 boxes, but
Yeah, I'm about to
or-
say,
or
boy,
you can't
like,
drop
what
it
you
again,
eating
or
throughout the
like,
day?
or like
You got the
or
bread
just
to buy. Don't
that,
be
like,
buying
the
shit
whole
like
day,
that
you
throughout
know,
the
shit
day.
fast.
Don't be like fresh going to
It's hard 'cause
Komodos
I
every
was
night.
really heavy in high school, and with losing weight, dude, so the gym is one thing, but it's so mental. The mental part of like trying to drop weight is very tough. So you got to really stay locked in. And
Don't even think
yeah,
about
like
it.
you're
You
saying,
you
it's like,
losing
it's like
weight.
abs are formed in the gym, but they're shown.
Just
So
think
it
about it
depends
as
on how
something
you
you're doing
Yeah,
to
they're made
prove
in the kitchen.
yourself.
Made in the kitchen, but
Yeah.
they're formed in the gym.
Yeah,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, that's what.
Like I don't be
Like,
worried
remember
about
that
how
saying,
much weight I'm losing. I just worry about how much
Yeah.
like rep I
Rough,
can
but,
do. Like if I can lift
definitely
my
have to
body
eat
weight
cheese and eggs,
in
you're just basically cutting your carbs. That
or
helped me a lot. And yeah, the gym is
repetitive
the morning
movement
training. If you get up
that I
early
might
and you
need to
get in the gym,
make
when
to
you
save
leave,
my
you
life
have a
probably
whole
one
day ahead of
day.
you, you already have
Maybe.
something accomplished. It feels so fucking good.
It feels good though, but when I go to the gym and then have to go to my shit 9 to 5, dude, I'm so exhausted. And
Yeah, yo,
I
9 to
go
5
the
makes
gym
you
before,
more
like, the
tired
podcast
than
starts.
going to the
I-
gym.
there's
That'd be
a
crazy.
lot of my days I'm going like straight to the podcast after.
Yeah.
I tell you all this, man. I mean, I've always been like a gym junkie and everything.
But
at
that's
the
because the
same
gym
time,
pump you
I'm-
up.
You know, I'm almost 27 now. It's gonna sound real funny, but like it's the first couple of years of my life I've actually started experiencing exhaustion if I don't treat my body right. And recently I had to start going to bed at like a normal time, making sure that I walk in the morning. Like not even no crazy muscle building, ab building shit, but at the gym, like if I don't get up and go like walk on the treadmill for 20 minutes, I'm not awake. If I don't go to bed at a certain time, I'm not awake.
That's weird.
But you just have to, because you reach a certain point where it's literally like your body will stop you. It will stop you. And like getting a little, just inching towards 30, like I'm starting to feel it, and it sucks that like if I just
Jesus.
do whatever the fuck I want to do, I'm fucking exhausted.
Yeah.
Now, sleep is a very important thing, and it's often something that I struggle with a lot. But
hard.
myself, it's hard.
Boy, I
to
can't
creative
sleep for shit,
mind,
bro.
Trying to put it at rest is one of the most hardest things ever.
Yeah.
But I imagine, you know, Myron, you know, stays in the gym, stays working, stays freaking on his money hustle and stuff. But how does he manage his sleep? Like,
He's nocturnal because he does everything at night, right?
Every time I see his post, like he'll do a podcast, and the next thing you know, it's like 6 a.m. and he's in the gym and stuff. I'm like, does this dude sleep? And then he'll do like a podcast in the morning, then after hours. I'm like,
He need to stay off the
There's
nose.
there's been a lot of days where he probably has not slept.
And now there's girls screaming in his face and he hasn't slept.
Sometimes it kind of bites him in the ass a little bit, or you know,
Yeah,
he messes
that's
up.
unhealthy.
You know, there's times where but he finds time.
yeah, but I imagine like,
And I think he really probably starts sleeping like maybe in the afternoon, like
yeah,
like
You
12
gotta.
noon or 1 p.m.
Oh, you got it.
Like, cause there's times where it's kind of known that I'm always the one that's early. I always come to the studio mad early. Only very like I could probably count on one hand, and you know how many times I've actually been late, but I probably still haven't even reached 5.
He's like Kobe of the Fresh and Fit.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm already in there
I'm-
putting up shots when you play.
Like so I remember there's a lot of days I'm having to wake up Myron. Like I'm like, yo Myron, Myron, I'm here. He's like, what? Myron, I'm at your door. All right.
What's the next question?
I'm gonna stem off what he was just talking about. Scott C says, "What are Myron and Fresh like off camera?"
Oh man, I spend a lot of more time with Myron. I think. Well, it's always we talk about him on the show all the time, so it's not much of a secret. Chris and Fresh have a terrible time talking. Clearly, that's a long running joke we talk about all the time. But
as far as what do you mean they have a hard time talking to each other?
you know, because they have a stutter. They be like, you know.
Oh yeah,
or,
they
you know,
started.
Fresh be like super chucks or and they be like, what Chris? What? I used to be a teacher. Wait. So Myron, he's very appreciative of like that I talk clear, so he actually has someone to talk to like on a regular basis.
Oh my gosh.
Myron I know Myron Fresh, those guys are a lot more humble than people let out, like than people like think portray. Yeah, than what people think. Fresh, he has this extreme perception. Like he just sees things that no one else will see. And I think I can there's times where I see a lot of things that he sees, but there's
It's
times
called
where he
being
sees,
Caribbean.
Catch that, bro. When did you see that? Or
It's called
or
being
that's why there's
Caribbean.
times, a lot of episodes he'd be like, he looks at a girl like, you look familiar, and now he's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And every time he says that to a girl like that, a girl looks familiar. Either we find something insane about her, like later on in the show, or like
Somebody
a supporter catches it like later on after the show.
Yeah, they'd be like, oh,
Or-
she was
or
this and
maybe-
that.
Or the type of person who, like that type of girl who comes off as a good girl and then first be like, you look familiar, and be like, and she still tries to like brush it off so that she's a good girl, but like after like the show, like she's in Vendome, in a VIP section with Trey Songz or something, shaking ass when she got a boyfriend at home.
Damn.
Make it fresh a lot.
Be
Fresh a lot.
crazy.
Easily approachable. Myron, I don't think likes me very much, but you know what? He always answers my texts. I tell you what, most people that are as busy and high profile as him, they just don't even get back to you. Myron always, on
Bruh.
occasion, if I have to hit him about something, he always text me back.
Same with Fresh, bro. Big Mo too. Shout out to them. 'Cause they'll text you back, bro.
That's funny.
You know, but I think most cats are like,
And
who is this?
Big Mo got on Fresh and Fit just by texting Myron. Myron gave him a job.
This is the non-famous one, the young one that hangs with Rolo and them. What the fuck? But Myron answers me.
But Myron, another thing, he really cares about men. He truly like more than even what he says. And I'll even tell a small story. And Myron, I hope you don't get mad at me, but I'm portraying you in a good light. Don't worry. I think it was somewhere still. I think it was my second month in, and they went to New York. It was when they did that collab with Academics and Brittany Renner, and Flagrant.
Yep.
They went on that. It was during that time when they went to New York, and coincidentally,
Andrew Schultz's son.
I didn't know they shot that in New York. Sorry,
yeah,
continue.
yeah.
No, sure.
It was on their platform, and that's where they were at. And what? Oh yeah, 'cause I had a associate that came down from Jersey, and she wanted to see me, and so screw it. We're going on a date. yeah, screw it. And yeah, we spent some time, spent some nights,
Are you trying to say you smashed?
Allegedly.
Okay. He is careful.
And they're called associates now.
Yep.
Me and my associates act somewhat appropriate.
Yeah. And but I wasn't really sticking to any diet. And I, because we went, because I went to show her a lot of places.
Also because you're on the road, right? You said you're on the road, or she came to see you?
She came to see me.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, no,
Well,
you
she
definitely
really
gotta
came
take
for
her out
vacation,
if she
but,
came to see you.
me and her, we was already like talking for a while.
That always fucks up my diet. If you go to she's like, what are you, I'm gonna fucking eat a salad in front of this girl like I'm a bitch. Like,
Nah.
Exactly. So,
Gonna eat some steak.
crap, I'm like, man, I don't know how to tell Myron, but it was worth it though. Well, screw out, like, and then so throughout the time, I'm like so like anxious. I'm like, man, I'm like,
in these quesadillas, and you're like, every bite, you're like, Myron.
man, quesadillas was light compared to like.
It was light.
I can already picture what he's
I
talking
had
about.
straight like Haitian food and fried Haitian like deep fried.
No, but I could already imagine.
That boy had that grill bun on them
This
people.
is what you gave up your goals for?
Like, Myron's gonna kill my ass. I'm like,
He gave her
I'm
Haitian
just, like,
food. He
sweating
trying to
every-
stunt.
like, when they come, I'm like, dog. I'm like, because I know Myron was still like heavily like watching my like the app I used to like.
You give a girl some Haitian food, she gonna be.
Oh shit.
Because
What?
I'm under his app.
You like
okay,
me?
and so I'm like, I just gotta come clean because either I tell him or he finds out and it's gonna be worse.
Wait, so you were logging what you were eating?
Yeah.
You didn't tell Myron we took you to lunch.
No, he doesn't. But also, he doesn't check it these days. But remember, I also incorporate.
Yeah.
Myron calorie
Yeah,
counts
yeah,
for
of course.
fucking Mo.
No, don't tell him.
Myron be like, how much you ate today, nigga?
What you
How much you ate?
I wasn't even looking.
He gotta start using this shit because he got one too.
So I was like, damn, I was so like nervous.
Him and Fresh.
And then so I finally get the courage to tell him early on, and he was just like so like okay with it. He was like, did you? And I was like, yeah, we did. And then he was just like, Myron, I'm sorry, Myron. But he wasn't even on my ass or anything.
No.
He was like, listen, man, I just really want you to lose weight. And I just really want you to get better. That's all. I was like,
So he didn't go all
No.
TV Myron.
no,
that's
like,
cool,
I was like, is that it? Like,
Yeah.
That's cool that he's not just like, like you guys wrap the podcast and he's like, all right, guys, go do your thing. He really cares about the people that are in his circle and on his team. So that's what's up. I respect for that.
Because there's been a night where where he was on. He said a lot of things that I'm not going to repeat.
Damn.
So I'm thinking, like, this is
Get
gonna
your
be one
fat
of those
ass
nights I'm
back
gonna get it from
into
him.
the gym. No.
I not necessarily days,
Meals. Once.
maybe.
Meals.
Some people say not to do a day because then it could turn into like day 2 and
Yeah.
3.
A whole
Like,
day
that
of
would be
eating
sometimes.
bad.
If Myron
Just
watches
eat
it,
one
I
meal.
just want him to know one thing I didn't
That's
get to
just
tell him when I saw
bad.
him when I was on Fresh and Fit is I'm sure he's aware of
I try to
the
fast
degree of
until
which
like
he's been able
5
to
o'clock.
inspire men. Is he aware though? I was saying this to you in the car. Is he
If I
aware
don't
of
eat
how
nothing
hard
in
he's
the
made some of
morning.
our dating lives at the same time though? Because the amount of times I'm
the
in
culture.
bed with a chick. The amount of times I'm in bed with a chick and she's on TikTok and I have to hear about, oh my god, did you see what fucking Myron said? I'm like, dude, Jesus, fucking.
dude.
The fuck
Our
you
buddy's
want me to say?
girlfriend doesn't
God.
like Fresh and Fit, as most girls don't like because they can't handle
is hilarious.
reality and the truth. But she doesn't like Fresh and Fit at all. So we were at the bar the other day. My dad had a show. It was one of like the last shows that he's doing with his band. What was it 22 years? 22 years. So this is their final show. And my buddy came out with his girlfriend, and Kevin bought all of us shots, and we go to take the shot, and his girl's right there, and Kevin goes, all right, cheers to Fresh and Fit. And then his girl, right in front of his girl, and his girl's just like,
Yeah, but hold on. But you know what's so ridiculous about it? It's like this is something basically like Fresh and Fit is like television. Most of us watch YouTube on our TVs now. It is. It's television.
It's
I don't have to
YouTube
lay in
is
bed with a girl
TV.
I'm trying to fuck and hear about Myron Gaines. Like is this dude aware? Like it has made its way into my sex life. Like I hop in bed with my bitch wanting to fuck, and I'm having to listen to this shit about what Myron Gaines said. I'm like I don't care what he fucking said.
The girl that was talking about in the story, I don't think she still knows.
I work at the radio.
Fucking laying in.
Yeah, I work at a radio. I'm like, it's just a radio station job.
Until they see your Instagram, that kind of like sells you out, no?
Yeah, but at that time, I still wasn't like letting it be known like that.
You gotta get like
Yeah.
a burner account.
Oh, no, I can tell you right now, you fucking work for him. I've just been on the show once, and girls will see my social media and go like, oh no.
Damn, that's
some,
crazy.
You know, I mean, Redfield
Only-
has get chicks. I mean, to some extent, a lot of girls don't care, but some are like hard about that shit. The amount of times I'm in bed with a half-naked chick, and she's complaining to me about something that Myron said, I'm like, what do you want me to say? I'm like, yeah, it's TV. Turn it off if you don't like it. Like,
I always say this. It's not that they're so mad at him or they hate him. It's just Myron is a direct representation of what majority of these women look for in a man. And they, in their instincts, they know it. Hell, that's why our last show we just had, where this girl came on to be a plant and act like she didn't want to be here, and then when she got exposed, you know, she's finally telling them like, why do you hate women? This isn't empowering enough, and she's so triggered over Myron, and then I'm like looking closer in the screen, I'm like, is she turned on? And
Part of that.
That's what it seems like.
And I was like, yo, Icy. For those who know, Icy, that's one of my. Well, now she.
I see a
she's
Pokemon trainer, just to
she's a
let you know.
Reoccurring female on the show.
was she the one that was
Yeah.
bringing us drinks when I was on?
No.
She has
No.
like, I forgot her top
Myron,
6.
Myron.
I gotta remember.
It was
So I
told
was
next to you.
I'm like, yo, Icy, come here, Icy, come here, yo. Is she turned on, yo? She know how you know? I'm like, look at the nipples, bro. Look at the nipples. She was like, holy shit. I was like, God. I'm like, yo. I'm like, bro. A lot of these girls, bro, they're really, they're actually turned on by him because I've seen many episodes where these girls are like so triggered, but they're still like biting their lip at him. And I'm like, God damn. Like a lot of these girls, I think it's really a facade of that.
But they
I
keep
hate
coming
them.
back when they say they hate
the
him.
opportunity, you know, damn well to go to bed with them.
Absolutely. Yo, a lot of these girls, when you really
They
look
cap.
at them, just look at their body language.
It tells everything.
Yeah, because and especially one of the biggest tellings is how uneasy they get, and how they get extra fidgety for some odd reason when they're arguing with them.
Start
And it's
unplugging the power brick.
It's really because they're fighting with their peace sleeve, because they're like, no, I don't want to be turned on, but then they're just it's just Niagara Falls down there.
Niagara.
It's a funny thing. Even Dan Samini was telling me, he was like, you know, I could really care less about red pill content. He's like, I don't really care either which way. He goes, but once something is brought to my attention every day, once I have to hear about it, now I'm pissed. He's like, you know, your girl comes to you, he's like watching Andrew Tate, and she looks right to you, like, you approve of this? Like,
Dude, one of our buddies had a girlfriend that spazzed on him because Kevin was on Fresh and Fit. It's like, you're friends with Kevin? He was on Fresh and Fit. He's like, was it me?
But I didn't fucking bring him.
It's so funny.
We've always had friends that got girlfriends that like hated us and tried to like pull their man away from their social life. Some girls don't like it, but a lot of girls are like, especially if they see that their man has a friend group that's like productive, happen in social life, get women, they see it as a threat, like they see it like, oh, he'll hang with them. They'll take him to the spot. The girls will be at the spot. Now they're socializing with bitches.
Damn.
We've always had that. Over and over again.
I still to this day I still know some homegirls that just stop talking to me, and
Yeah,
these
that's
are,
gonna
I ain't even smash a lot of them. I ain't even smash a touch like that. They just be like, I can't associate my name with you because you work for these misogynists. Misogyny.
It'd be like
Go to the
that.
next question.
Sort of have it. So, because you said you were a Fresh and Fit supporter before before getting on the show, this comes from Tech D. He said, how did you find the RP?
You know, for a long time, you know, I was one of those guys that I kind of knew because I had a lot, you know, I got a lot of player friends, and you know, those times I used to be like big time, big time imping.
Oh, this ain't Twitch. You can say it.
Oh, this ain't Twitch. Okay, I was big time simping.
Big time simping.
Oh.
It's okay, bro. I can confidently say I've simped harder than anybody that's come to this table. So.
Every nigga has simp, bro. I only simped once in high school, and I was just giving a girl car rides. After that, never again. I didn't get no ass. I'm just
So
Big
you know,
one.
Nah, but she just kept calling me for rides, and I got it. I'm like, you're not even my friend. You're not even like cool with me like
Yeah,
that.
she
You
was
just
she was
want a
the one
car
that actually
ride,
woke
and
me
I'm
up.
just like, fuck that shit.
Because for a long time, I'm gonna try to land this plane.
But it didn't even take that long. It took like a couple months, because it wasn't like all the time. But then it became all the time. That's why I was like, yeah, something's up.
And then, sister, I got this girlfriend. Be careful. I'm like, damn. Oh, sister, this is girl. I got this new girlfriend. I want you to meet. She's like, be careful. I'm like, God damn.
Here's a good question. How does your sister feel about it? Because my filmer, Richie B, can I talk about this? He's been doing the street interviews with me and working behind the scenes with us on the Redfield stuff, and now that he's diving more into the manosphere, his sister's like, I don't agree with this. Like, I don't agree with this. And I have a bunch of people, too, that tell me, like, you're better than this. I don't agree with this. So how does your sister feel about you working with Fresh and Fit and being in the manosphere? No issue? No, that's all.
No,
Your
it's
sister knows-
just-
your sister knows the deal, right?
She just feels a little uncomfortable when when Myron would be like, well, you fetched, you know, stuff like that. But or like the word she said, like, I want to slap him in the head when he said that. Yeah. But other than that, she has no problem. Because she gets it. You know, my sister's she's super traditional. You know, she's one of the women like where the issues that the issues about women that shoe doesn't fit her. So she's never like triggered by anything.
I usually don't care when a chick isn't interested because of the red pill stuff, but once in a blue there's one that's so bad. Recently there was this gorgeous Latina chick and she was like, I do not fuck with Fresh and Fit, so that's a wrap. And I was like, Myron.
But the thing is because I consider my sister a true statistical anomaly, and because she's like an anomaly in every sense. You know, she's with a husband that she loves, admires, and respects, and he's an average guy. I think for the longest time, literally up until last year, he finally makes a little bit more than her. But throughout their whole life, throughout their whole lifetime,
she was the breadwinner.
She was.
Wow.
It's a funny.
She always not just like she wasn't like the sole bread earner and took care of him. It was just like, you know, she was okay. She deliberately did not look for like the high value guys or the high earners. Because she understood what came with it and she didn't want it because she didn't want monogamy.
It's a funny thing. I remember us actually asking our mom, who's the worst person to ask.
Monogamy is like a piece of mind for most people.
She don't play. Like she actually answered this question right. My mother gave us a typical answer. But remember, we hit a certain age. We were like, Ma, why didn't you warn us that girls will play us? All you ever said was fucking get him flowers, be real sweet. You know what I mean? I think at one point, Mom even like told me as I was getting older, like if you really want a girl to love you, you always got to go down on her and shit. Like and
what?
You tell us that girls will play you and that they don't always mean what they say and say what they mean. And she was like, just gave like a fresh and fit fucking girl answer. It's like, well, I think when you really love somebody, you got. And I'm like, whereas like Grandma was like, Grandma, tell cousin so and so, who I won't say his name. You know, I was like, tell him how easily women play men. And she goes, I'll tell you how I've been playing them my whole life. Let's get it. And I was like, please.
Shut up, Gma.
But your sister gave you like direct game.
Because there was a time I asked her, I'm like, yo, sister, why you always like said that? I'm like, yo, and she was like, you gotta understand, these girls will fucking play you. These girls, because you're such a great guy, these girls they're gonna use that. They're gonna like exploit that.
Yeah, a lot of mothers aren't even trying to vet their son's girlfriend. A lot of mothers like these days, they kind of
mothers gotta vet their son's girl, and then the dad gotta vet their.
There's no level of like.
Just a little bit.
Right. Well, I just don't give a fuck. But like, but I've seen a lot of that. There's no level of who is this woman? Is she good or bad for my son? Are you gonna fuck up my son's life? It's all just like.
Dad's ex-girlfriend was the only person who ever like really would check a chick every.
And I appreciated that until she lost her shit,
and then she turned into one of them.
Yeah, but I like that. My dad had a. Yeah, no,
she sees this.
Yeah, fuck that. I don't give a fuck. No, but my dad's girl, who was like our stepmom for like 5 years, they were together that long. She was the only one, and I appreciate that. I would bring a girl through, and she'd be like, "So what do you have going on?" And the girl was like, you could tell she never had to answer to a mom figure about that. She's like, "What do you do for work?" She's like, "I cut wicks at a candle store." She's like, you think that's gonna take you somewhere? She'd be like, "These are three ambitious boys. Like, you ready to like keep up with this?" And I appreciated that because he was just like, "Oh, she's pretty. Probably has the potential to ruin everything, but like whatever." I don't know.
And also because and I want to make sure because and don't worry, Holder, the story's gonna lead to answer your question directly. My bad. Go ahead. It's all good. Oh yeah. So because I told him like I'm like, sister, because I want a woman like you, like how you are, you know. And she was like, they don't make them like me. They don't.
Good answer.
And she's like, you have to understand, they don't. So so the days of today, the RP has really made me like bring me and my sister closer.
She's the older sister?
Yeah.
How many siblings do you have?
The red pill, the RP.
But I only grew up with my older sister. Okay. I didn't my brother didn't start living with us until I was 17.
What was the household dynamic like growing up?
Two-parent household. Two-parent household. Mother and father was both there throughout our whole lives.
Still together?
No, but that was like their breakup. I was like 27. So
yeah, that was a while.
How old are you now?
32. So
that was like a while ago.
And so like so me and my sister, we have and so throughout a lot of times I ended up like. And I had a lot of player friends, and I was like learning from them. I had a lot of like I understood pickup artistry, so I knew breakdowns what they were doing, and I was like, all right, let me had that. So there was times I would put on that bad boy, and ended up getting around, but when I was getting around, my sister never complained about it. She'll probably be like, oh, I see you with the little fast girls, the little fast girls, and then she's like, hey, that's what it is, you know what I'm saying? But she never complained about it, because she knew that I always protected myself. So now, to fast forward a little bit, so here's where I answer, Holder, here's where I answer your question directly. I always knew a lot of the RP stuff, but I never like was able to put vocabulary in it.
Okay.
And I remember it started with I started picking up the roommates, even though they're not part of the RP. But they always talk about like improving yourself and leveling up. And from there, I remember that's when I ended up finding Kevin Samuels in Fresh and Fit.
RP.
And that and RP, Kevin Samuels.
I love him. Same initials as me. No surprise.
The same. Which here's I'll have a small story about how I felt about Kevin Samuels.
Okay.
But both of them, they were like both Kevin Samuels and Fresh and Fit, those two simultaneously was like what made me, say.
Oh crap! It's raining hard as fuck.
I remember I just had this heartfelt conversation, but also, that was like in early 2021, very early 2021 when I ended up finding Kevin Samuels and Fresh and Fit, which ended up finding the RP from there. Yeah. early fresh fit, and oh yeah, because I had a conversation with my friends. Like, it was a heartfelt. I'm like, bro, I have not been changing myself enough, so I have to take this difficult, honest, harsh, tough look at myself, and then I screenshotted the LA Fitness registration.
Did you say you haven't been shaming yourself enough?
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe in that too. I believe in that kind
Like-
of harshness. Like, don't tell yourself that you're trying your best if you aren't.
Gotta hold yourself
Yeah,
accountable.
exactly.
Yeah, when you know you're fucking up, tell yourself you're fucking up.
And then so early 2021 is when I ended up finding the RP, and then which led me to like the Rolo, Donovan,
The
John
triple,
MLD.
yeah.
I like to highlight those three specifically.
Mhm.
Rolo, Donovan Sharp, and John MLD. Those are like, I consume their content the most, and that's those are like the three that I recommend to anyone the most. So so it was around early 2021, but because it was thanks to my sister waking me up.
How many questions do you have?
I got a question for him. I think we had a couple. But I was having this conversation. Every Saturday we do a weekly hangout on our Discord. We just say what's up with all the holders. And there was a conversation going talking about there was a holder who was a little bit older than like in my age bracket and a couple people that were in there. And he was talking about how he wish he had like this awareness and knew about the RP in his like 20s. Can you kind of speak on that? Like how would you kind of wish you knew then what you know now?
Absolutely. I am not ashamed to say that. Like, I wish I learned this when I was like in high school or something.
You would have been
able
too
to
aware in
figure it
high
out, 'cause I
school.
used to
That would have
be
been
crazy,
too
like-
much.
And I'm like, maybe I think I'm just the only one. Maybe I am crazy or something. I don't know.
That's why I'm so thankful that like I'm 20 years old, man, and
I just
we're
stayed
getting
in
this
the
Red Pill
crib.
scene. Everybody thinks it's all about game and how to get women, but people don't realize that it's more than that. It's about self-improvement and men bettering
Mhm.
themselves and
Yep.
like you said, leveling up. You know?
And especially protecting yourselves because
100%.
I like to quote a lot of what Rolo teaches when it comes to men love idealistically, women love opportunistically, and but to more highlight the men loving idealistically part, we look at love for the sake of love. You think of love as building a legacy, building a future,
Yeah.
investing in our families, sacrificing and compromising ourselves for the sake of the bigger picture. But women understand that and they will exploit that. And the RP teaches men to protect themselves.
Yeah. You were so lucky to have older brothers to give you shit like this because I had nobody else. I don't say that because it's not like you can't be your own man, but like since I'm at the top, since I'm the oldest, I had nobody that would tell me anything but simp shit. So you have like all these girls at 20, and at 20 I was simping my balls off.
Simping at
I was
20?
simping my ass off when I was your age. Yeah, because I had
Nah,
nobody. I
fuck
had,
that.
I had like an older best friend. Simp. That's about it. As far as like somebody to look to,
Should have called NFT Simp Hill Lions.
Oh my
I'm playing.
Yeah. I
I'd
had like,
rather
an older
be
best friend
alone.
because I'm the oldest. I didn't have like, so I don't have the older brother. And nobody really had any of that like that red pill in the advice they give you when you're fucking with a girl. It's just like, well, have you tried
But your
to talk about it?
harshness has always been there in the sense that like even when you were
It makes
simping, like,
sense at
the way
20.
as far as like being harsh,
Just
as far
step
as, like,
into college.
putting your mind to where your work is and like working hard and bettering yourself, even still being simping, not like just with, even still being simping, you still had this aspect of
Sipping
like
ain't pimping.
being harsh, and it matched up with Red Pill before you even got to it, and then you got into the manosphere and the Red Pill scene, and it just like heightened that.
Yeah,
you
no,
know?
at least you got it out the way too.
You got it out the way, but I'll tell you one thing. Don't forget something. I took 3 years off of being an adult. Like I turned 18.
I thought you meant 3 years off being a simp.
No, but I turned 18 and I felt like I didn't have a childhood because I didn't start getting girls, drinking, smoking, none of that until I was an adult. And I actively told myself, I'm not ready to fucking be an adult yet. So I took 3 years out of adulthood to do drugs, to fuck around. I literally took that time. I'm like, I'm just gonna party and like the only thing we had going on
Dead
at the time was
ass?
rap, but it
Wow.
was still mostly drugs and partying and running from cops and stupid shit. Then took another fucking 2
Running
years to
from
fucking simp.
cops.
So don't forget, like Mac Bruder was my first attempt at. Most people don't even know about it. It was my first attempt at a feature film. I was ambitious enough to get it rolling at 19, turning 20, but midway through it got too hard. I was too in over my head and too in love with that damn girl, and I just put it on hold and literally exchanged a film project for simping. It took a while.
Stupid, bro.
Yeah, when you let
Yeah.
chicks take away your passion, or,
Dude,
or
I
you let
will
them pull you
never
out the
in
gym.
my fucking life let a chick be like, well, it's either me or hockey. Like, bitch.
But that's what I'm That's the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing I'm trying to learn. Just as an older brother, I don't think I'll ever be a
Don't
father.
trade
but
your
just as an older
passion
brother,
for
it's
no
so
girl.
hard to remember that it's not what you say, it's what you do. So in a way, in a fucked up way, y'all
That's
watching
me
me
and your
simp when I
passion.
was your age, it set
The girl's
kind of
gonna
a
come with the
precedent
passion.
for-
Oh, yeah.
It set a frame. So you guys, even before you read the rational male
Let
and
us
that shit,
play.
you already know I watched my brother do stupid
Dude, because
shit.
that's kind of how I learned my whole life with having like
And our
rental
older
figures
friends,
that were
yeah.
kind of nuts and a whole bunch of shit. Like I didn't learn from somebody telling you this is what you should do. I learned by watching everyone around me fuck up and being like, don't do that, don't do that. Don't do that.
Exactly.
Sign
What?
from you.
You
It's
live
not-
by-
Watching your friends
vicariously
or, like,
through
other people
people.
fuck up or like not conducting themselves in a proper way as far as women, it's so frustrating because you just want to like put yourself in their shoes. Just like, let me just fucking. You give them the tools, but they don't use them, and it's so upsetting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You learn from it. You learn what to do and what not to do.
I think it's definitely what you guys saw me do, and then probably our older friends when they first started getting girlfriends, and
Yeah.
you know everything that ranges from domestic house issues where the cops are being called to the girlfriend's cheating or the girlfriend
So
dumping our friend and
annoying.
fucking somebody else. But believe me, like that's the good thing about having an older brother or having parent figures. You watch what they do, learn from their mistakes, and I think I actually simped so bad when I was beta that it registered in his brain at like 15. He had never read the rational male at 15, but at 15 he still knew like what is this motherfucker doing? Right? At that time you did, right? You were like,
I still take that.
It makes
Next
sense.
question. Sorry. Go to the next question.
Next question comes from Marizi. He says, do people treat you differently now that you're a part of the Fresh and Fit team, and how?
Definitely, I get a lot more attention.
In a good way or bad way?
Yes.
Good way. I think it's more
Yeah.
of both.
Yes. And the good way is, there are some people who like, who hate Fresh and Fit, so they're like, I don't want to be next to him. I don't want to be next to you. But
Oh, that's crazy.
there's others. They, now that I have some status, I got some clout on me, so they got a little extra eyes on me. Like, is that social proof I smell on you? Is that social proof? You
That
put on
is
some, like,
social,
high
bro. Is that your co-
Is that cold approach? I'm like, oh yeah. I'm like, what's that cologne you got? Oh, thank you, baby. It's cold approach.
Cold approach.
You want to smell it? Did you smell it yet?
I didn't smell it yet.
Oh, dude, I wanted to go for like a masculine smell. I didn't want it to smell like Axe body spray, dude.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Cold
Yeah.
approach. Redfield Lines.
I ain't
you
gonna
wanna know
lie,
our
it smells fresh.
secret ingredient? What's up? Pussy juice.
Pussy juice.
Yes, sir.
That's
Yes,
what the
sir.
cologne